Hey guys, it's Adam with something quite interesting today. So this is a succulent planter. I did not purchase this. I actually got this as a Christmas present, either birthday or Christmas. I can't quite remember off the top of my head which one, but from my grandmother along with a couple of other plants. And I'm not typically fond of like the pre-planted succulent planters. Like I know they do look nice. I just for some reason prefer not to buy them and get like individual succulents. Just a personal thing. And as you can see, like it's kind of outgrown its planter a little bit just because like there's not a whole lot of light getting in and I don't rotate it because it's kind of a low maintenance thing. I like it because sometimes they last a long time, sometimes they don't. But I usually don't do much with them. But yeah, I just find them to be, personally, for me in my experience, it's too hard to take care of. And I actually haven't checked this one in a while. In fact, since I put it on the window like 2 months ago, I don't think I've actually had a close look at it. So today I decided to, just because I was actually going to see about possibly like cleaning this up now so that it's ready for the spring. Debating about whether I would do that or if I would just wait until spring to start chopping everything, regrowing cuttings. I think I'm gonna wait until spring because right now one of the plants that's in the succulent thing, a Sempervivum, which is what you see here, actually usually grows in like rosette shapes, so they're more compact, which you can't really see because even these echeverias that are supposed to be more compact, just because they don't have the right lighting in them, don't really do well. But they kind of look like this. They kind of usually grow like this. But these ones are stretching to try to find a light source, which is why this one is pointed towards the window. I don't really rotate this ever. But something really cool is happening. The Sempervivum, which I've never had a lot of success with, Sempervivum, I'm not sure. Especially in an indoor setup. Outdoors, I can get them to grow as annuals, but they are supposed to be zone 5 plant, which I'm right in between zones 4 and 5. They don't really come back too well most of the time. But these ones are flowering, and I've never seen a Sempervivum flower until now. But look at how gorgeous these are. I just noticed this. I'm so glad I checked because I would have completely missed them otherwise. These are so cool. I'm actually shocked at how amazing these are. You know, they don't look anything like a flower typically would, that I would think of. Like, you know, they don't quite look like, you know, like your typical like cartoon flowers like a daisy or a sunflower or whatever. There's something I've never seen anything quite like it before. They're not, I've seen like a lot of different flowers. I've seen like lilies and like aloe shaped flowers that are like long and almost like trumpet shaped. And I've seen stuff like composite flowers like daisies and sunflowers. I've seen a lot of different things. Then of course there's like echeveria flowers, which are really interesting. I had a mammillaria cactus once that flowered really, really nicely. This is something so cool and so unique and so strange. These look just absolutely brilliant. They're so pretty. They've got kind of like a grayish color petal to them, like greenish gray, that almost fades out to like a very pale rose pink. And they're green in the center, and they're really nice looking, and I really like this. And I'm so glad I did check this because they were just growing right there, and I just looked, and there they were. They are absolutely gorgeous. Now, as far as the rest of this planter goes, you do see that it does look a little bit messy. Now, when this was purchased, it didn't look like this. All the plants that were supposed to be growing like rosettes looked very clean and compact, like all the rosettes. Like this is a pretty good example of what a rosette typically should look like. You see all the leaves are very close together. There's not really a lot of space, and it is growing for the most part upright. Maybe it's leaning a little bit. But then you get to something like this echeveria, which is supposed to grow in the same manner. But this one, there's a lot of space between the leaves, and this one is like stretching towards the light. That's because it was originally pointed this way, but since the light source is here, it's trying to grow as close to it as it can. Now, to prevent that, most of the time you can just I would turn this around every day so that all the plants that would start to stretch one way would actually start to go the other way, so that it doesn't get too crowded, or I mean too hard for them to get light. Crowded, I don't know what I'm saying, but basically that way they won't stretch and they look a lot nicer. However, even then, there is a nice way to fix these things up, and what I'll be doing, probably in the spring, is actually like chopping this entire, well, almost the entire thing up, making sure that like I have like all the I've cut down almost all the plants, if not all of them, that are rosette growing, and kind of started to propagate them and start over. That way, for one, I'll have more plants, and also I'll be able to clean this up so that it looks a lot nicer again. Get more rosettes going, make everything look a lot better. So yeah, I'll be very excited about that. I might actually take a couple of leaf cuttings today, even though it's February, and do those, because those are one of the types of cuttings that you can do successfully at any time of year. And I have been wanting to make a tutorial on personally how I do it, because I've seen a lot of different methods and I found a technique that looks really nice. But yeah, main point of the video was just to show you these gorgeous Echeveria flower, or Sempervivum flowers, not Echeveria. These beautiful flowers. These are so interesting looking. I am absolutely in love with these. This year's been very, very good for my succulents and my cacti flowering. So yeah, very happy. So that is basically how to, what my point of the video was, is just to show you this. And I started rambling because that's what I do. I talk a lot, but that's pretty much all I had to show you, all I had to share. Stay tuned, because there will probably be a video on propagating succulents from leaf cuttings and maybe a couple other methods coming up later. And then the spring, there will be some stuff about my butterflies and my moths and what I'm growing, a lot of different things. So get excited, because there's going to be a lot of stuff coming to you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.